The cartel recognized as the New Generation Jalisco, commonly known as the CJNG, stands out as one of the most prominent criminal groups operating outside of Mexico. Its reputation is due to its various criminal activities, aggressive application of force, and its distinctive code of conduct. Being a part of this organization is definitely not for the faint of heart. Recruits must undergo initiation rituals that are shocking, even compared to other criminal groups. The individuals who make up this cartel consider themselves superior and seek to intimidate their opponents through an army of ruthless individuals willing to do anything for power and money. Join us until the end as we unravel the darkest secrets of the four letters cartel. Before continuing with the video, we ask for your help to reach 100,000 subscribers on our channel. We would greatly appreciate it. Without further ado, let's continue with the video. One of these secrets is cannibalism. Although the CJNG is one of the newest Mexican cartels, it leads in cruelty. Cannibalism has become a standard part of initiation rituals since 2015 in terror schools, where future members are taught. Cannibalism is a common practice in these schools, located in secret locations, generally in rural regions. These locations are closely guarded, and revealing them carries painful consequences, often resulting in a slow death. During a 4-week training period, the rookies are instructed in the use of weapons and, at some point, are forced to participate in cannibalism to prove their loyalty. This process is not due to a lack of protein in the cartel, but rather a desire to toughen up recruits. While some may be willing to kill, the act of consuming human flesh requires exceptional bravery. A former CJNG recruit, speaking anonymously out of fear for her life, shared her experience in one of these schools of terror. Cannibalism was a common practice, where recruits cut off pieces of their victims, mainly fingers and toes, and then publicly consumed them in front of the leader. The inability to do so without reacting resulted in severe punishments. Recruitment into the CJNG not only involves cannibalism, but also forces new members to live surrounded by corpses, participating in the preparation and disposal of the bodies. The former head of international operations for the DEA, Ella, describes these schools of terror as a one-way trip with no possibility of returning alive. Showing fear, making mistakes, or breaking rules leads to becoming a victim of other recruits who dismember, decapitate, and consume those who do not meet expectations. This way of life involves living surrounded by death and learning to live with it without alternative. The question of why anyone would join such an organization remains puzzling. Firstly, for many people who join, it is due to the predominant impact that narco-culture has on Mexican society. Furthermore, during the rise of drug trafficking in Latin America in the 1970s, this activity was considered a career for criminals, and not many people wanted to associate or get involved in the trade. However, something we can highlight is that over time, society's perception evolves and adjusts to the reality of the time. This is especially evident when figures linked to commerce, such as rebels and Robin Hood-type characters, such as Pablo Escobar and Chapo Guzman, are idolized. The unprecedented employment in drug trafficking led traffickers to accumulate great fortunes, evident to the population through the main media of the time. These media began to portray trafficking and traffickers in a new light, infiltrating drug culture into Mexican life. For many, this culture became the only thing they have known, and for many more, the most accessible option in the face of poverty. Although traffickers may carry out impulsive actions such as cannibalism, for them the worst thing would be to starve. Over the centuries, tattoos have served functions beyond mere artistic display on human skin. In many cultures, they have different meanings, and among Mexican cartels, tattoos also communicate a lot. The CJNG is no exception. Although their tattoos are not as easily recognizable as those of the Emistris gang, a tattoo commonly used by Mexico's cartels is the 3 dots, usually worn by gangsters and cartel members. This tattoo symbolizes that the wearer has broken the law and is ashamed of it, and is usually placed in visible areas such as the arm or face. The design generally represents unbridled living and is also occasionally used as a symbol of Catholicism, as the Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit posters have a notable connection with this religion. When it comes to faith-related tattoos, two of the most popular among cartel members are the crucifix and the rosary. Although it may be surprising that those who practice cannibalism take religion so seriously, the reality is that the vast majority of cartel members are devout Christians. Religious images and symbols such as the Virgin Mary are common, and many recruits and members consider themselves devout Christians. Spirituality is not limited to Catholicism, as many choose to honor Santa Muerte, a goddess of apparently Aztec origin, in the belief that she will offer them protection and a longer life on Earth. These beliefs remain close. Cartel recruits can also opt for tattoos such as tears, known for their significance among criminal organizations. This tattoo indicates that the wearer has taken the life of another person, serving as an identifier of someone willing to kill. It is generally used as a tactic to intimidate those who challenge the wearer, similar to the skull and crossbones tattoo. The latter is placed in visible areas to convey a clear message and avoid confrontations with the wearer, since knowing its meaning indicates not only that it has caused deaths, but has possibly accumulated a high number. Although these tattoos were not always used by cartels, in recent times they have gained more popularity for various reasons. First, they facilitate the identification of members involved in criminal activities. Once you see those specific tattoos, like the one with the teardrop or the skull mentioned, you get a clearer understanding of what kind of person he is. There's not much more to say about it. A second reason tattoos have become more common is that they serve as a tool for cartels to control their members. It is difficult for members to change jobs when they have a history of actions etched into their skin, limiting their options and reducing the likelihood that they will, at some point, make the decision to quit. When recruits are trained by the Jalisco New Generation Cartel and choose to get tattoos, they are practically securing their future with the organization. They become more aware that they are already part of the cartel, and that the cartel is part of them, even if they have not yet fully adopted the use of tattoos. Cartels may continue to evolve. Who knows, maybe the four-letter cartel will develop its own distinctive tattoo, similar to that of the Mara Salvatrucas. Another disturbing practice is consuming hearts, used to recruit and train members. These recruiters toughen recruits through a combination of physical force and psychological stresses. The cartel not only trains common thugs, it prepares them as soldiers to face various situations. For the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, the main threat comes from rival cartels, and therefore, recruits are subjected to an extreme combat course to learn how to use weapons, act quickly, and establish secret locations. Recruits are needed to be resilient and insensitive to the violence around them. Apparently, nothing demonstrates cruelty and callousness like consuming the raw human heart. When addressing the topic of cartels using tattoos as a tactic, it is essential to discuss two of the most notable reasons. First, desensitization is one of the key factors. This is the main reason why the cartel wants its members to feel apprehensive about violence. Most of the time, they solve this problem by exposing their soldiers to extreme acts of desensitizing violence, since studies have shown that as people, especially young people, are more exposed to violence, they are less empathetic and more insensitive to the suffering of others. It's not surprising that the four-letter cartel uses this tactic, since the orders they give members must be strictly followed, and some of them involve torture and murder. If members are not completely callous in carrying out these acts, it represents a problem for the cartel. Additionally, it serves as a way for members to demonstrate their loyalty to the cartel. If the recruits are willing to consume the heart of another human being for the cartel, the organization is sure they will do anything for them. On the other hand, those recruits who cannot follow the cartel's orders as desired and refuse to consume their hearts face punishments, even death, for their resistance. The second probable reason for this ritual is quite clear. The Jalisco New Generation Cartel uses it to intimidate its rivals. This ritual is frequently performed using the hearts of members of rival cartels, conveying the message that if you confront them, you will be destroyed. Consuming the heart of a rival is considered one of the greatest desecrations, and the cartel makes it clear that there are no limits when it comes to protecting themselves and their interests. These rituals offer insight into the psyche of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel and the challenges law enforcement faces when confronting such a ruthless criminal organization. That's all for today. I hope you liked the video. If so, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you are truly passionate about narco stories. See you next time.